So 10 years of the NFL in the UK. You moved back here to be the GM of Australia, New Zealand. Why did the NFL identify Australia, New Zealand as a region they wanted to promote the NFL?
Yeah. Yeah, so we've been trying to look at how do we become a globalized sports property, a global sports property, and that's been something that we've been strategizing over for a number of years. We run a fan tracker, so we have a global research study that we run, and over the years, whilst it started as a UK tracker and has kind of grown into other markets as we've explored markets, we started to think about what are the next markets for us? Where are we wanting to understand what our fan base looks like? In 2019, we started tracking Australia as a market, just to really have a look, see what was happening. We did know that we were kind of making a small handful of revenue through, some retail sales, product sales, and then obviously had media distribution in the market. And we were working hard over the years leading into that to make the media distribution of NFL games in the market stronger and stronger. But outside of that, it was very much, we don't know how many fans we have. We don't know, what's going on. We've now got some NFL players from Australia making it into the league. We had, a lot of punters and kickers, some of which are still playing. Jordan Mailata kind of hit the scene in, I think, 2018. So I think with all those things going on by 2019, it was very clear that we needed to start tracking fandom. And what we saw in that research study, and this is self-identified fandom, was that we had this huge spike on a chart like that was growing from 2019 to 2021, and so it was certainly enough of a growth rate at such a fast pace that it made us think, what if we had resources on the ground? What if we had investment in the market? What if we built a strategy that was specific to Australia? How much more and how much bigger could this be? And so, from my perspective, the opportunity to come down to a new market, have a completely clean slate, but know that you have a level of fandom in some way who are engaging with the sport, to be able to take that and think about how do you build something from that? How do you build more fans, build programs that are specific to the Australian market? It was a pretty exciting proposition to take on, and so certainly I was jumping at the chance to come down here, and who doesn't want to live in Australia?
I completely agree with that. So you coming back to the market, you would have had familiarity working in the New Zealand market and across the Australian market, but you've been in the UK for a decade. What were some of your thoughts on the Australian, New Zealand sports market when you came back?
Yeah, look, Australia is such a dominant sports market, and for the size of the population of Australia, I certainly think they really punch above their weight from a sporting perspective, which is a great thing. And I think there are, like, pretty much, I feel like nearly everyone in Australia is a sports fan in some way, and so it's exciting to walk into a market where you don't necessarily have to convince someone to become a sports fan. They generally already have a really big passion for sport. So that was something that was new. I also loved the fact that whilst obviously there are the bigger sports in the market, the obvious ones, people don't seem to be that exclusive to one sport. They like their main sport is their main sport, but then they also dabble into other sports. So I think unlike other markets around the world where let's just say it, football kind of controls, it's like soccer football controls. It's a really unique place to come into, because you get to kind of know that, whilst other sports are going to kind of be their main sport that they interact with throughout the season, we very much can come in and they can also engage with us as well. So I've definitely learned that. I'd say the third thing I learned is that kids over here play more than one sport, if not sometimes five, which is insane if you're a parent. So which is exciting as you walk in and kids are playing different sports every day of the week, and just some of the coordination and the talent that exists based on the fact that there's so much sport being played at a young age. Again, it creates this really exciting proposition to bring a new sport into the market and engage with that audience.